Hi, welcome to 7 Facts. Here you'll find the most awesome collection of facts about every single country on Earth. Today we begin a brand new series, one entirely dedicated to the Australian states and territories, and first up is New South Wales. Before we begin, click the subscribe button if you wanna see more videos like this one. I upload twice a week, so it'll be worth it. Before European settlement, New South Wales was populated by Aboriginal Australians for at least 40,000 years. It was only in 1770 that James Cook, then just a lieutenant, sailed along the east coast of Australia, being one of the first Europeans to do so. He first landed at a bay in what is now southern Sydney and named the region New South Wales. Being enchanted by the wealth of unknown flora and fauna, he claimed the land for Britain and reported back to London that the place is perfect for colonization. By 1788, the colony of New South Wales was founded as a penal colony, which back then comprised more than half of the Australian mainland. The British claim remained theoretical until January 1788, when Arthur Phillip arrived with the first fleet to found the convict settlement at what is now Sydney. A camp was set up and the flag raised at Sydney Cove on January 26, 1788. This first settlement was what led to the foundation of Sydney. The first fleet of 11 vessels carried over 1,000 settlers, including 778 convicts, 192 women and 586 men. These first years were immensely hard, with many failed crops and scarce supplies from overseas. It also didn't help that in just 4 years, about 3,500 male and 760 female convicts were landed at Sydney, many of them professional criminals, but that had little to no skills required by the colony. Amazingly though, this colony survived and exploration and settlement of the Australian continent began in full force. The capital of New South Wales is Sydney, the site of the country's oldest European settlement and its largest and most cosmopolitan city, with ethnic communities from more than 100 countries. Remember, Sydney is not the capital of Australia. That honor goes to Canberra. With a population of over 5 million people, Sydney is a major global cultural and economic center, and despite being one of the most expensive cities in the world, the 2018 Mercer Quality of Life survey ranks Sydney 10th in the world in terms of quality of living. Obviously, the most iconic building probably on the entire continent is the Sydney Opera House, built in 1973. It has become a World Heritage Site and one of the world's most renowned pieces of modern design. One major life-saving invention came from New South Wales, the pacemaker. It was originally invented in Sydney at the Crown Street Women's Hospital by Dr. Mark Lidwell in 1926. He devised a portable apparatus with one pole applied to a skin pad soaked in strong salt solution, while the other pole consisted of a needle insulated except at its point and was plugged into the appropriate cardiac chamber. In 1928, the apparatus was used to revive a stillborn infant whose heart continued to beat on its own accord at the end of 10 minutes of stimulation. Today, pacemakers are indeed life-saving devices used by countless people around the world who would otherwise have a much shorter life due to their inadequate heart rate. In 1851, New South Wales went through a golden age, with the announcement of the discovery of payable gold near Bathurst. Almost immediately after the announcement, several gold rushes began and brought a huge influx of settlers. Hill End, also near Bathurst, was a locality that grew, boomed and faded away once the gold ran out. But this place stands out to this day. It was here that the so-called Holterman specimen was found. This thing was a beast. The single mass of quartz and gold weighed 286 kilograms and yielded an estimate of 93 kilograms of pure gold. To this day, this was the largest single mass of gold ever discovered anywhere in the world. New South Wales was the colony where the Federation of Australia began. Although there was already a movement throughout the colonies and several new factors were drawing them towards a political union, it was in Tenterfield that Sir Henry Parkes, Premier of the colony, gave the Tenterfield Oration of 1889, in which he called for the federation of the Australian colonies. For this reason, Parkes has been nicknamed as the father of federation. Although the idea failed at the first attempt, the Commonwealth of Australia was in the end formed on January 1st, 1901. Both Sydney and Melbourne wanted to be nominated as the capital, but due to the very intensive rivalry between the two, the city of Canberra was chosen to be established, built, and serve as the new capital. During World War II, after launching their Pacific War, the Imperial Japanese Navy managed to infiltrate New South Wales waters, and in late May and early June of 1942, Japanese submarines made a series of attacks on the cities of Sydney and Newcastle. The main Japanese naval advance towards Australian territory was however halted with the assistance of the United States Navy. There was however one bloody conflict in New South Wales during the war, the Cara Breakout of 1944. It occurred on August 5, 1944, when at least 1,104 Japanese prisoners of war attempted to escape from a prisoner camp near Cara. It was the largest prison escape of World War II, as well as one of the bloodiest. During the escape and ensuing manhunt, 4 Australian soldiers and 231 Japanese soldiers were killed. Out of the 1,000 prisoners, some 359 POWs escaped, while some others attempted or committed suicide or were killed by their countrymen. Some of those who did escape also committed suicide to avoid recapture. All the survivors were recaptured within 10 days of the breakout. These were 7 facts about New South Wales. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts downstairs in the comment section, and afterwards check me out on Facebook and Twitter. A good way to offer more support to this channel is through Patreon, link in the description. I hope to see you next time. Bye.